They had to send me an Amber Alert from Shippensburg. I don't even know where Shippensburg is. So, no, I guess I'm going to miss that 15-minute mark now, thanks to county recycling. So we were talking, the phone, we were rudely interrupted. How do you put two videos together? Whatever. One, I don't know where that got cut off, but anyway, we were talking about this with the Parshas HaYirah and Parshas Haman. And people think, if if you do all these religious stuff that I guess people really don't want to do, and then, they go and do all this for God, then God's going to do something for me. And, that's missing the whole point. God does everything for you. You're not doing anything for God by going to synagogue or whatever your religion is, going to church, going to mosque, going to your temple. You're not doing that for God. You're also doing that for you. It's just that you're recognizing God's wisdom in guiding you to do these things and to develop relationship with Him, and the great gift that is. Like Mr. Rogers wrote the lullaby for little kids. He's like, "Good night, God, and thank you, God, for letting us love you." Right? The amazing experience that we can enjoy. But back to this idea of the segula of Parshas Haman. It doesn't mean you're going to be a millionaire. It doesn't mean you won't. But the point is that has nothing to do with this at all. I mean, I know myself, if I have a little extra money, I squander it so often. And that's why I'm not blessed with more. And I have to learn to give tzedakah, to do the right things, to do what I'm supposed to do with my money and not squander it. But it's just, and I have to grow up. I have to mature. And maybe then I'll have more, I don't know. Maybe I won't. I have what I need. Baruch Hashem, it's scary, it's not, but you can never rely on your money. You can only rely on God. Al tiftach pelas satan. We're not, we don't want anything bad to happen, but we recognize what could happen, but we don't worry about it. We have faith and trust in God. Everything's going to be okay. Not much we can do, really. We just do what we got to do, and we're responsible, and we do what we're supposed to do with what we have. If God blesses us with a good job, we do the best with our job, and if God blesses us with not the best job, we still do the best job we can with that job, and we strive for something more. This is all in God's hands. Not much we can do. And that's the lesson of the Parshas Haman. Meaning, in the story of the manna, if the people were hoarding up manna, it just went bad. Because they had to have faith in God that, tomorrow God's going to give you manna just like He's giving you today. But this Parshas HaYirah, which also mentions Ahava, this concept of fearing God and loving God, what does it mean to fear God? Does it mean we're scared like we're scared of, a scary monster or something? That's not what it means. It means we're in awe. We see God as being awesome. That's one aspect of it, but there's something deeper there. HaYirah is also related to the word Yerah, Eros. To fear God is connected to seeing God. Now, there's not seeing in the sense of how I see a tree or something else. That's not what we're talking about. But becoming aware of God's existence. Meaning the story of the little boy who asked his grandfather, who's a holy man, did you ever see God? And the grandfather's answer is like, at this point in my life, it's hard to see anything but God. And that's the goal that we should be having here, Parshas HaYirah, to develop awareness of God. It's a lot easier these days than in the old days in certain ways, which is interesting because in the old days they had it, and nowadays we should have it more. Why? Because we recognize that human beings can be watching us all the time, right? Big Brother is watching. I mean, we're living in a society. I mean, you're watching me right now. There's a camera in my phone. I don't know who's watching from that camera without me knowing it. I mean, this I know about because I set it up. But we know there's stories about whether they're true or not. It doesn't matter. There are people they'll put a piece of tape over their camera on their laptop, right? Because they don't want anybody watching them. And they don't know, who's watching them without their permission. And that's a little paranoid. But rather we should take that and recognize that God doesn't even need the camera. Now we can imagine. I remember Rabbi Victor Miller used to say, when you're walking down the street, imagine in your mind that God is watching you through the window. Now God doesn't need to watch you through the window. But it's something that we as human beings can understand if we look at it that way. That God's looking through the window. And the same thing. It's an exercise in our mind to imagine that God is watching us through a camera and this and that. God doesn't need a camera. God's watching us. He doesn't need, but the fact of the matter is He's watching us through the cameras also. He's watching us everywhere. But the thing is so to be cognizant of God's existence and to see God's existence in everything. That's the power of Yirah. And the thing is, there's so many who don't recognize that. Now, there are other things that appear in this Parshas HaYirah. One is v'ahavtam es hager ki gerem v'hisam be'eretz Mitzrayim. You should love the stranger because you were strangers in the land of Egypt. Rashi says, an issue that you have, you shouldn't put others down about. So it's a little bit of politics with what's going on in New York State with the attacks on the private schools, when the public schools have a majority of kids who are not proficient in math and reading. 54% of the public schools in New York, the kids are not proficient in math and reading. And they're the ones who are telling us that we got to clean up our act. Okay. Well, it's like it says in the Talmud, and actually it says the same thing in the Christian Bible, what the Christians call the New Testament. If you have before you correct somebody about a speck in their eye, what about the beam in your eye? Like, like you got a 2x4 in your eye, and you're telling someone, oh look, you got a little piece of, a little splinter there. I mean, but that's what's really going on with the schools. They just want control. They just want to take us over. That's what it's about. Why? We gotta go back to God. Of course, we have to be religious. We have to follow halacha and learn halacha. But thank God, more and more we're learning about emunah, and this is just a scare. I think that we have to put in our shtadlus. But that's all. All right, I'm at work. It might be a little bit late, although I'll stay late. But thank you for watching. God bless. Please like, share, and subscribe. Comment. And we'll see you all later. Thank you. Oh, I turn this off here.